National champ, defensive end, Jack Sawyer joining the program here today. Schleggs, you wanted one more question. Go ahead. You take the lead.
No, man. Captain Jack, you said some good things, and I want Bob to touch on the memory. Like, he can touch on the memories and stuff, because it's funny, all the stories that you got. I mean, we're 44 years old. Like, you're 22 years removed from us. We were your age, like double now. It's crazy. But, like, you remember all these things. And it's just so special. I call it making memories, right? Like, when you're in it, you don't realize that you're making these memories. I want you to touch on something, because I don't think people in 2025 understand, and you don't got to go into the weeds of the post-Michigan game. I don't want that. But I want you to articulate how in 2025, grown-ass men can have hard conversations and people not be offended. Because it seems like today – everybody is offended. Everybody has their feelings. Well, feelings are fleeting. How does that come about? And I think part of it is the veteran leadership, but how can that be sustainable year after year in a culture of Ohio State? Just articulate on that a little bit.
Yeah, man, it's a feel good world now. I mean, if no one wants to get their feelings hurt, and for us, after that game and going to the playoffs, we knew we were going to make the playoffs. We knew we were going to still have a chance to go reach our ultimate goal, which is winning the national championship. And, man, there was a lot of tough meetings, the player-led meeting where Coach Day was in it, and guys challenging guys, grown men going at other grown men. It wasn't disrespectful. It wasn't, guys cutting on guys. It was, hey, why the hell isn't the job getting done? Why aren't you executing at a high level to make us succeed, myself included? And we all had to look ourselves in the mirror and be able to have those tough conversations, get it off our chest, so we could all move forward collectively as a unit. That's the love that we talk about as in a family. Growing up, my dad used to always, as soon as we got in the truck, it wasn't about the 4 touchdowns I scored in Pee Wee football. It was about the tackle I missed and why I was loafing to the ball, on the third play of the game, something I didn't even remember. But that's just life. That's stuff that you gotta recognize, because if you don't, like we always say around here, it's easy not to recognize those when stuff's going good and let it slide, or you can be a grown man and address those things that need addressed still, and not get in your feelings, not get emotional about it, to be able to get better from it, so those things don't bite you in the ass later down in the season. And for us, going to the playoffs, we knew it was do or die time. We had to go win a national championship. There was nothing else left for us to do. And we had the biggest dream of ours and our arms reach, and we weren't going to let anything slip away from that. So we had those tough conversations, man. Grown men challenging other grown men, coaches challenging other coaches. And when we showed back up for that first practice leading up to Tennessee, when we knew we had them, I mean, you could have cut the intensity with a knife in the building. And it wasn't, no one was scared, no one was timid, no one was overthinking anymore. It was, hey, we're showing up, and we don't care who the hell rolls out in the shoe on 8 o'clock come that night. It doesn't matter. They're getting steamrolled. And that was our mindset, lead into the game. When you have that mindset, when you're really getting pushed and positive peer pressure by your peers to do your job at a high level for 2 weeks leading up to something like that, man, and the results are what they were for a reason. And I don't think without those tough conversations that we had and guys being so receptive to it, and especially I want to give credit, a shout out to the offensive line, because, man, they played their tails off in the playoffs. And a lot of those guys had a lot of hard conversations after, a few of those games. And, man, they played at an unbelievable level after losing 2 All-Americans in the playoffs, and to help us win a national championship. So, I mean, there was no room to have anybody in their feelings, thinking about anything else, thinking about after the season. And after that, the receptiveness of the team to be able to go out there and do what we did was unbelievable after that.